Today we're going to be doing a swapping out of a malfunctioning hard drive. First step is determining how you know that you do have a malfunctioning hard drive, and I'm going to show you real quick. Now you may have files that suddenly go missing. That could be a subtle clue. But on HP and Dell, you can actually run what's known as diagnostics, which will scan your hardware and tell you, hey, this thing's broken. All right. Let me just do that. All right, so let's go ahead and turn it on. You'll see it powers on. And it says boot device not found. Now, about 2% of the time, you're going to see this and it's going to be a false error message. But, and of course, it's not scientific. Maybe less than 2%, okay? Now, if you see this, it's a very good chance that your hard drive is malfunctioning, okay? It also says please install an operating system on your hard disk 3FO. You can run system diagnostics. That's what we're going to do right now. Now, if you don't see this, and it doesn't prompt you to run the system diagnostics, you can simply turn on the computer. It might need to be charged. Bollocks. And also a free bonus tip: if your computer does not turn on, try doing the charger. Plugging one into there, one into a power outlet. Hey, that one's free. I won't even send you the bill for that. Alright, so we're going to turn this beast on. Let me turn the camera that way. Awesome. Okay. Boom. Now it's powering on, and you immediately tap the F2 key. You got to get it just right, otherwise you'll have to go through it again. So I'm mashing the F2 key like there's no tomorrow, like it's the fire button in a video game. It's going to tell me to knock it off. Okay. So startup check mode. Let's see. It's going to test the primary hard disk self-test. So the good news is on this computer, everything's passing. Alright, we're just going to let this run. The hard disk test is passed, so I'm going to press escape to continue. Escape! Escape me from this video. And it's going to proceed to load into Windows normally. But in this case, on this HP, it looks like we're going to have boot device not found. It's going to prompt us to run system diagnostics, so the same thing will apply. I'm going to go ahead and tap the F2 key. Can you see that? Let's see if we can get that focused in. Alright. So here is the hardware diagnostics. This computer is running Windows 7, so it's going to load the Windows 7 version. And you're not going to have the use of your mouse during this diagnostics, so you're going to have to navigate using the up and down arrows, such as those. Okay. Usually in the same spot, so we're going to check the, not the memory, but the hard drive check. And it gives you two options once you hit enter. Okay, you're going to have the quick check and the extensive check. I would go with the quick check because at that point it's faster, and if you detect issues with the quick check, or an error screen rather with the quick check, you don't need to do the extensive check. If you're still having issues after you ran the quick check in this path, and you're still having issues with the hard drive, let's say a file's missing or it's not booting correctly, you're getting a lot of errors, then you run the extensive check. And the extensive check is going to do more scanning than the quick check, and it's going to help you see if you do have a malfunctioning hard drive. Alright, so we're going to select quick check. I'm going to select it using the up and down arrow. And you're just going to tap that enter key. It's going to start the hard drive check. And on this one, it's going to say short DST test in progress. To be honest with you, I don't know what DST stands for. Probably should, but I don't. And it's going to have a smart check. And we see right away, didn't take it long, it says smart check has passed, but the short DST has failed. There's your failure ID. Now if you're going to contact HP support, and then you would tell the representative on the phone the failure ID, and then they plug that into their system. Well, now that we know that this hard drive is broken, what we're actually going to do is take it apart and get the hard drive replaced. So let's go ahead and go back to the main menu, and we're going to go to exit. We're going to yes, and it's going to come up with that operating system. Now it's going to come up with that error message, and if you can, you need to turn your computers off using the operating system, but since we can't get into it, we're going to do cart shutdown, and the computer is going to be shut down. Alright, now for the fun part. Alright, so close that, and we're going to flip it over. I'm going to go ahead and take apart the battery bay. We do not want power to come into the computer, so of course you want to make sure that the battery's out. So that's what we're doing right now. So battery slides out just like that. You also want to make sure it's not plugged into any charging, which it's not. Okay, so that's good. I don't know what that one was. Okay. Alright, so the next step is getting a screwdriver bit right here. And you're going to attach you're going to attach the J1, which is this thing. Alright. So that's where that goes. Alright, then you're going to put in here. Then we're going to take apart what's known as the service cover of this computer. We're just going to loosen the screws on it. And it's right here. So come on in here. Alright. So we're going to do it like this. I'm just going to unscrew it. Now the screw is never going to come completely out. Just going to be loose enough for you to pry apart the service cover of this thing. Alright. Do a little bit more. Now, when you're dealing with laptop electronics, you want to make sure you do everything gently. What I'm getting at is you want to pry apart the service cover gently. So, you're going to hear some snapping, that's fine. And if there's a part on it that's being stubborn, doesn't want to come apart easy, there's a tool for that. You just want to gently do like that, and with your other hand, do like that. Okay, so that's how you use that. And again, you can buy all these at your local Radio Shack or electronics store. They sell all this stuff, the tools, the pry, the thing you use to pry apart. Alright, so we're going to turn this around. Try to follow the path of least resistance. Just get your fingers up underneath there. And this, my friends, is the inside of a computer. Now, this is the hard drive. Focusing on that. This is the hard drive that we're going to be taking apart. If you go over here, just going to show you briefly what this is. Now, the original issue with the computer, the reason he brought this to me, is because he had a BIOS password that he couldn't get off his computer, okay? So, he challenged me to do that. Now, just going to show you briefly the way you reset the CMOS battery if you run into a particular issue. Is come on in here. Is you just want to unplug it from there and take this off. I'm not going to be doing that today. I might cover that in depth in another video if it's something that needs talking about. It's also important to note that everything that is attached to is called the motherboard, if you didn't know that. So the plug that I just showed you right here, that's attached to the motherboard. These RAM sticks right here, the memory sticks, that's another video, how to replace those. Those are attached to the motherboard. And same thing with this hard drive. Now, this hard drive, it comes with a protective blue cover It's also used to get this hard drive off. Now, if it doesn't come with this, which most hard drives don't, then you need to use my favorite tool, which is this guy right here. I call him Steve. So this is what's going to be used to pry this apart. Alright, I'm going to put Steve away for now. And since this has another use, it's to gently pull the hard drive out of its case. Now remember, I'm going to use the word gently a lot, because you don't want to just jerk it like that, because that could break it. Now, what you're going to find on this hard drive is when it's attached still. It's attached to the motherboard. And this plug right here, if you'll get that in the shot, so you want to gently remove that. So you want to get in there, and you just want to gently pry it apart. So you can take the old hard drive, set it aside. You want to take the new guy, just this guy. You want to be careful not to touch the connectors right here, your sweaty hands or what have you. So you want to touch on the sides. You also don't want to touch this part, because that's the part where it reads. Just like a CD, if you guys have ever owned one of those. Same principle applies. So we're just going to put it in here just like this, and with the plug going this way. And then what you want to do is, if you can please get that in here. Alright. So you just want to plug it in easy as you please. Being very, very gentle. Okay. You just want to slide that puppy in there, just like that. Okay. Now you want to take your hard drive cover. Let's see. Your service cover, rather. You want to take your service cover. You just want to put it back. Now, when you're putting back in the service cover, there's some notches here. Boom, 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 5 of them. I want to make sure that goes in first. Just make sure life easier. Alright, then you just want to gently apply a gentle pressure. Snap them into place. All the way around. Snap, snap, snap. Snap, snap, snap. If you did this part right, you should see the screw. And now we're just going to go ahead and tighten that sucker back up. Just going to tighten that joker back up. And you want to put the battery back in. And I like to work this way. You always want to test every solution when you're working with computers, because very rarely do they send you a defective part. Let's try this way. Okay, want to make sure it locks into place. And now the final phase is testing the solution. Alright, so I'm going to focus in on this guy. Alright, so I think it has enough juice, so we're going to try to turn it on. If you can get the main screen there. Alright, so go ahead and turn on the power. And this is not going to have an operating system on it, so it's probably going to tell us to, yeah, please install an operating system. Now, if everything goes well, I should be able to press System Diagnostics, and everything should pass, because we just replaced the hard drive. So I'm going to hit F2, focus in on the F2 key. Okay, very good. And again, we're going to check the hard drive. diagnostics has completed, and as you can see, the smart check has passed and the short DST has passed. So now all that needs to happen is we need to install an operating system on the hard drive. So I'm just going to go back to main menu, just like before, and do exit. And yes.